In BFDI there are loads of characters. From original characters to recommended characters. There's bound to be unpopular characters with such a wide range of contestants, but who is the least popular? Well, in this video I will be discussing the 5 characters that are some of the least popular in the show. Just to add, this is all subjective, and not everyone would agree on this since this is from what I know who are the least popular contestants. So put who you think are the least popular characters in the comments below. I'd love to know your guys' opinion, and see what you guys think. With that, let's start off with our first unpopular contestant being Barf Bag. Barf Bag is a recommended character that was able to compete in BFB and later Teapot. Despite her being in 2 seasons, she is one of the least talked about characters, and whenever she is, people mostly talk about how boring of a character she is, which is a fair statement. I can't remember too much of what she did, and most of things I could remember from her were moments in BFB and nothing else. After she switched to Teapot, she did nothing throughout the whole time, and even when she was given an interesting plot of feeling used and treated wrongly by the other contestants, people still didn't care for her. I don't know if much people felt anything when she was eliminated, considering no one probably remember anything she did in Teapot. It's a shame too, because I did like her in BFB and saw her as an underdog at times. But with how she did nothing in Teapot, I could see why people just don't really care for her all that much, which is why she is on the list. The second one is Eggy, and let's be real. The only reason why we know who Eggy is, isn't because of her character. It isn't because she's interesting, but because of Uppy. I'm gonna be honest, he is how I knew about Eggy's character. Or what little she has. Mainly because her screen time is non-existent. The only scene I remember from her are the one where she's just a jerk. Those scenes being with Clock in BFB 6, and Kick, and her arguing about Loser in BFB 13. The only thing I liked about her was her friendship with Teardrop, because I thought their friendship was pretty cute. But the writers barely did anything with it after BFB, and afterwards gave Eggy little to anything, causing her to be eliminated pretty early. I personally don't know what Apoe and Eggy fans see in her, since there are loads of times where I dislike or just don't value her as much as her other teammates, but I won't judge, I guess. You know when she is an irrelevant character, when even the creators of the show made a video about eating Eggy and calling her irrelevant. That actually sucks. I'm not the biggest fan of Eggy, and not a lot of people are either, and when a lot of the reason why Eggy has fans is because some of them are from Apoe, puts her here on this list. If you need someone to explain why you're a good character even though you've had brief appearances, that makes you pretty unpopular to me. To other people, Eggy is unpopular too, since a lot of the time the only people talking good about her are her fans. And the ones that aren't Eggy fans are either neutral or just flat out hate her, and while I'm certainly not one of the haters, I do find her neutral, so yeah. That's pretty much it for this one. For number 3 we have Roboty. While Roboty has gotten some time to shine in Teapot 11, he hasn't done much to make people love him. Sure, he has a show called Battle for Roboty's Respect, so some people might like him, but I don't hear a lot of people talk about Roboty that much. It always seems like he's an afterthought to most. Which is a shame, because I think he can be an interesting and fun character when given the time to show he is. The reason I like Teapot 11 was because it boosted my opinion for some of the characters like 8-Ball and Stapy. But one episode doesn't determine a legacy, since in BFB, Roboty barely did much that was notable, and it was only the cliff that was the most interesting thing about him. Other than that, nothing else was interesting about him. I could understand why no one talks about him. What is there to talk about him other than some things he's done in BFB and Teapot 11? In conversation you rarely hear someone say that Roboty is their favorite character, so that's what puts Roboty in this list, which is a damn shame. The fourth one is Foldy, and Foldy is, well, she's Foldy. The fact you never hear someone say that Foldy is their favorite says something. Foldy never really had anything going for her except for being friends with Marker and Stapy, and being a nice character. I don't know what else is there to talk about her more from there. Like, she's kinda boring to me, and to be honest I completely forgot about her and forgot that she was eliminated because she blended in with the background too well. Although I think the main reason why she is so unpopular is because of BFB 11, where she pushes Flower off to revenge Stapy, which people didn't really like, even though Stapy got out fair and square because he cheated, or whatever the reason was he got out. I don't know, other than that Foldy is not a standout character, and isn't very fun to watch. I've barely seen people like Foldy, and if they do they're pretty discreet about it. It's quite sad that BFB 11 was probably the whole reason why her downfall came to be. Who knows, she could have been seen positively if she didn't almost sacrifice Flower. It's quite poetic that the person she was taking her revenge out on won the show. Meanwhile, that same revenge she tried to put backfired on her, and then she was the second eliminated off of Teapot. Well, whatever the case is, she is the fourth character on this list. And finally, the last one to be on this list is David. Now, I know that there are multiple spin-offs and characters of David, but I'm talking David himself, and to be honest, I haven't seen a David fan in like a while. I never saw the appeal for him, but I can get the charm he had to him. Although it's kinda strange how the clones of David get talked about more than he does, which is weird, because the character is so unique and interesting with how much lore he has going on for him nowadays that I feel like making a video on him one day. For some reason I haven't seen people do that yet, so this might be my chance to do it. I don't know. Dora, who is essentially a clone of David, was able to surpass him in BFB, which I can't really blame David for it, since, well, Satami really wanted Nicole out in Leafy. Roboty and David had to get eliminated for something that never happened, so yeah. But I'm gonna be honest when I say that I think Dora is more funny and better than David, because despite having a lot of lore around him, I've seen Dora do more cool and interesting things than David has done, and she has become less of a gag character and more of a character you can enjoy easily. David sadly doesn't have that spark for me, so poor bye. Who knows, maybe when the odd David comes back to the show, the writers actually find a way to make him more loved, because I feel like that's what people need. To talk about the main character, who started this trend of David clones and stuff. So I feel like he should get more recognition, and an episode that lets him shine out more, because man does he need one. But that's about it. These characters are very unpopular in the community, but hey, at least they've got some fans to keep them company. Before anyone asks, I didn't add Rocky because he's overrated and overhated at the same time, which is quite a milestone. If you guys want to see more videos like this, just drop a comment down below saying what else you want me to cover and stuff. And while you're there, might as well hit the like button too. Helps my channel out a lot. With all that being, see you all in the next episode. Super Overload signing out.